I love her. She's a doll. Welcome
Hello, this is Fastpass and Furious, the podcast. We are both fast and furious, and you're going to want to skip past this podcast because it's going to be garbage. I'm Amanda.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Skylar.
So, episode 2 is this. We're going to talk about the park reopening in the middle of the coronavirus, our feelings about it, how we think the parks are doing about keeping everything clean and keeping everyone socially distant and making sure everyone wears their mask. We did recently just go to Universal Studios, so we're going to give you kind of our opinions about how we think they were doing things. We haven't been to Disney, but we're going to talk about Disney as well. So, let's get into it.
All right. So, before we start talking about our main segment, do you guys want to play a game?
I like games.
I like games.
Okay. And the first game is a stupid game that I came up with called "Is This a Real Mask or Did Skylar Make It Up?" And
Good title.
Thank you.
I like it.
And so I went on the Shop Disney website and I looked at all of the masks that Disney is currently selling. And I've written down a couple of the actual masks they're selling. And I've also written down things that came from my own imagination. So it's your job to guess which is which. And I will be keeping score, and whoever wins is my new favorite. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna beat your butt.
All right. Mask number 1. It's Mike Wazowski's big eye right in the middle where your mouth is.
I hope so. I'm gonna say that's fake.
That's real.
It's real. I didn't make that up. I saw it. It doesn't look that silly like as a mask, but I would imagine someone wearing it that would just look ridiculous.
Like you're eating the eye like an apple.
So it is real.
It is real.
Okay, I thought I remembered seeing that one.
And you can purchase it
I haven't seen any of this.
for $15. So, I mean, I don't actually know how much they are, but
no. Okay, they're $6. 4 for $20 or $6 a piece.
Oh, all right. Let's not misinform Skylar.
Oh.
Real prices. If you're listening to this and you're on your way to Disney and you're thinking about buying a mask, they are $6 a piece or 4 for $20. Okay, signing off.
And they're the same at Universal, right? Maybe not that 4 for $20, but they are $6 a piece.
$6 or 3 for $15, I think.
Oh, okay. All right, number 2 mask. It's a mask. It's black, and on the front there's a little black silhouette of Minnie and Mickey, and they're kissing, and there's a little red heart.
That's not real.
You know what? But like, the way you described it makes me think it's not real, but I can picture it in my head as being a cute idea, so I'm gonna say real.
Well, Amanda's right, and Sarah's wrong.
You have to describe these in a way that doesn't make them sound so fake, then.
I'm sorry, I didn't make up the Mike Wazowski one.
Okay. I suck at this game.
Also, I just know my merchandise.
Uh-huh.
I don't. Sorry, I'm not constantly on the Shop Disney website.
Yeah.
I'm always
sorry
on
I
there.
didn't work in merchandise.
I used to have, I'm sorry to take a pause from this game, which we will get back to, but I remember when I was like 12 or 13, I wanted this Buzz Lightyear jacket, zip-up hoodie so bad. It looked like Buzz Lightyear's body, right? I was going to skin him and wear him.
Oh.
And I wanted it so bad, but like I wasn't like, I was 13 years old and I didn't have any money and I didn't want to ask my parents for it. So this is what I would do. I would go on the Shop Disney website and a little pop-up would pop up and say like, hi, do you need any help? And I would chat with the chat person for hours on the shop. This is not a joke. I chat with that person who knows where they're from, and it would be a different person every time. And I would go on several times and talk about this Buzz Lightyear jacket that I never ended up getting.
And they
I
didn't
never
just send it to you? Where's the
I was
Disney
expecting-
magic?
right?
This is ridiculous.
But I just remember having these long conversations with adults who worked at the Disney customer support about me. Like, I would pretend I would change my name too. I was so stupid. I'd be like, my name is Stacy,
Oh my
and
god.
I'm buying this jacket for my daughter. I would pretend I'm like an adult. I don't know. That was other people had AIM. Other people had Facebook. I had the Disney Shop Disney chat window for customer
You like
service.
wanting them to just send you the jacket?
No, I just like wanted someone to talk to.
Oh,
She was
so this is
lonely.
less about the jacket and more about you wanting friends.
Yeah, but it started because I really did want that jacket.
So you messaged
Okay,
them because you were like, can I have this jacket?
That's how the conversation would start up. They'd be like, is there anything I can help you with today? And I'd be like, so I'm just wanting to buy this jacket for my daughter. Sometimes I would have a son. Sometimes I would change my adult mother name. Sometimes I'd be a father. It was a time.
Oh my god. This sounds like you did it very
So
frequently.
I did it quite a bit, and I guess I catfished the Shop Disney customer support. I don't know. Let's continue with the mask game.
Okay. So number 3. It's Baby Yoda and his little egg.
That sounds real.
That's real.
You guys are both right. It is real. Because Disney wants to milk every penny out of that little baby.
Yeah,
He's really cute, though.
they're
Yes.
taking advantage of that baby.
They're taking advantage of that baby. He just is a baby.
He's a baby.
He's just a
Can
baby.
you just let him be a baby, please? Don't profit off the baby.
Hey, if I know Disney, they certainly like to profit off of babies.
Yeah.
That's
If I know one thing about Disney.
And I do.
I know one thing about Disney. They do profit off of babies.
Okay. So I have our third mask.
The fourth mask.
The fourth mask. It's green and it's Hulk's mouth over your mouth.
I've seen this mask. It exists. Yes,
I've
this exists.
seen it too, but I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's in
the parks sell it.
I'm not sure, but I saw it when we were in the park. I saw a girl had this, so
I
I'm
think
gonna say yes.
yeah, I've seen it, but I don't know if the parks actually sell it. So I guess I'll say no, but
Well, Amanda, you're wrong because it does
Woo!
exist. And
See, I want to wear the Hulk mouth mask with the like Hulk body shirt, and also paint myself green.
I thought that you guys would think I was just lying because it's
No, because I saw this one. It sounds funny because it is funny.
but I like it.
I like it too. And
What
you know
could
what?
do is wear the Hulk mouth over your mouth and put the Mike Wazowski eye over your eyes.
Over your eye.
full protection.
Wait. Yeah,
'Cause they're
not
both
only that, they're both green.
So it works.
Yeah, and that's where the similarities end. So,
They're both green.
and like I guess they're both monsters. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
That's debatable.
All right. We've got one more mask. It's navy
Woo!
blue and it has like big block white letters on it. And it says
Fake.
it says you're ruining my vacation.
This is, and you're asking if this is a mask that Disney and or Universal sells.
Yeah.
That's not real.
That can't be real, but
They could
boy,
really
howdy
profit
if
off
people
that.
wouldn't buy it.
Yeah,
People
they would
would
profit
buy
off that
it.
for sure.
I'd made
They would.
Some of my favorite shirts that people would wear in the Disney parks are the ones that were like where the wife would be like my most magical vacation, and then the husband would wear one that's like my most expensive vacation, or something like that, and it was just like
Yeah.
it's weird, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
She's like, I'm having.
I know. I love the ones that show like I'm unhappy and unfulfilled in my relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, I do actually have one more that I wrote down. Okay. It's a mask, and it has Elsa's little ice smirk on it.
Oh, that makes me uncomfortable.
Sure.
I haven't seen this. I'm gonna say no because that makes me uncomfy.
Amanda's our winner. Let's give a round of applause to the winner.
And what does that also mean?
That you're my new favorite. Sorry, Sarah.
Yay.
And I'm Sarah Furious signing off for the last
Oh
time.
my god. Okay, are we gonna play another game, or are we gonna just go into our segment?
I feel like we can play another.
Yeah, let's play another game.
All right.
Games.
Does anyone?
We're
else
gamer
want-
girls.
I'm
now.
feeling playful.
God.
We're gamer girls. We're changing our name.
So who wants?
Okay, I'm gonna sing a song. Y'all guess the song.
Okay. Cauldron.
I just want that to be our intro song. So, are we playing the pool game?
We can play the pool game. We can play whatever you guys
So this
want.
is a game that kids play, and we're also gonna play it because we are also kids. And we're gonna say the initials of a movie, and if they can guess the initials, then they get the movie. But if they can't, then we have to give a very bad description of it. So, like, if it was Finding Nemo, I would say FN. And then if they couldn't get that, I'd say, like, it's about, like, a rebel, angsty teenage boy's son who hates his dad and he runs away from home. And, like, you wouldn't get fish out of that because if I said it's about a talking clownfish, it's too obvious. If I say it's an angsty boy's son, then it adds a little spice to it.
Mm-hmm. Very spicy.
So I'm going to start with a nice simple one. JB.
Oh my god, Jason Bourne.
Wait. That's not even what it's called. It's called...
Yeah, first of all, that's not the name of the movie.
Also, I was going to do a really good description of it, and you took that away from me.
Oh, okay.
Forget it.
Never mind.
Forget it. That was it. Congratulations.
What was your description going
It's
to
about
be?
an average man.
Oh my god.
Average body.
And nondescript clothing, like a
Or a
sweatshirt
hoodie.
or a t-shirt.
He works odd jobs for cash every now and then.
Sometimes resorts to street fighting to make money under the table.
Although the cash is good, his expertise fighting skills draw attention. Okay, I'm sorry.
My boss thinks he'd be better off dead, but I think the world is better off with Jason Bourne in it.
I feel safe. I feel a little bit safer knowing he's in it.
Oh my god.
Trust that I need you.
If you're not sure what we're referring to, you
check out.
Then don't worry about it.
When you're not in the club. Definitely check out in Universal the Bourne Stuntacular. We touched on this last episode. I'm sure we will touch on it many times again. A fantastic show.
Right, because Universal Universal
just
actually
ridiculous.
hired us to make this podcast
This
just
episode
to
is
promote the
sponsored
Born
by the Born
Spectacular.
Spectacular.
It's not really
We don't have a
sponsored by the Born
sponsor,
Spectacular.
so
And
Universal give
anyone
us
can
money.
give us money. Squarespace.
we also
Squarespace, will you give us money? We're really poor.
Stamps.com.
But we should say that we
Honey?
we should say on air we are not sponsored by Universal. We do not represent the company.
Oh yeah, we should.
We do not represent the Disney company either.
We don't represent honestly anything.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say we only represent ourselves, but barely.
We hardly even represent ourselves.
And
so.
I guess we'll just copy and paste that into every episode, so we don't have to keep saying it.
Right.
Our views are not that be reflected of the views of the company and yada yada. So anyway, this game, yeah, POTCCOTBP.
Can you
I'm
repeat?
sorry.
That was so many letters.
COTBP.
Pirates of the Caribbean. What were the last letters?
Curse of the Black Pearl.
That was it. You know, this game is not as fun as I thought it was gonna be. Someone else go. Because you keep getting mine. They're too easy.
Oh.
Okay, my letters are E.T.
Oh.
Okay, actually though, it's ETTE. E.T. The eggs.
That's true.
ETTE.
Do we just have to do movies, or could we do anything that's represented by the two companies?
Okay, sure.
Like, could it be like movies, like maybe like the TV shows?
I thought you were gonna start saying like snacks, and you were gonna be like DW.
And we were like,
no,
ew, I hate
this.
Okay, do anything, I guess.
We could do rides.
Oh my god!
We're starting this over. The new game is, we're naming the acronyms of beloved rides in Universal and Disney, and then we have to do a bad description of them. Or we could just do the bad description of them. Maybe the acronym is too easy.
Well, I can't just pull a bad description out of my tushy.
Well, maybe you should try harder.
It's not in there.
So you're working at a newspaper, right? You're just like an intern.
Okay.
And next thing you know, like your lame boss is like, I want the scoop. And you're like, I don't even know the scoop. And he's like, I want you to risk your life for the scoop. And you're like, okay, I'm just an unpaid intern, so I'll do it. And then you do it, and you almost die so many times, but it's okay. You don't die.
I know it.
What is it? I don't know it. I don't think.
Do you know it, Amanda? You don't know it? Oh, it's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh. Wow, this whole time I didn't know what the plot of that ride was.
No, yeah, I hardly know what the plot of the ride was, but that's the only ride that includes newspapers. Originally, my mind was like Newsies, but that's not a ride.
I wish there was a Newsies the ride. I want an animatronic Christian Bale to sing to me.
No,
Jeremy
Jordan.
I mean, ideally, it's just like regular Jeremy Jordan to sing to me, but an animatronic Christian Bale we'll have to do.
Where are you at, Jeremy Jordan?
Okay. Who's next? I'll go again.
Okay.
Okay.
So you are in a factory, I think, like and And so, okay, once upon a time, forget about the factory. Once upon a
This has got to be a universal ride because this is going to be some BS.
Once upon a
Is
time.
this Fast and Furious?
No. We can do something good for that one. Once upon a time, there was a girl, a lady, if you will, and she's just like having a good time. But then this evil man kidnaps her, and so the hero gets on his horse and
Oh my god. Don't you dare.
save her. She's tied to the railroad tracks, but then they're shooting at each other, and then the laundry is hanging up.
Oh! It's so clear to me
I
now.
don't know the plot.
But
Then everything works out in the end. But just because you save the girl doesn't mean you get the girl. Sometimes the girl loves the horse more than you.
She's in love with the horse.
She is in love with the horse.
What
Okay,
is it? Ride?
It's called Ripsaw Falls.
The story is not there.
Huh?
The
But
ride
the ride
itself
is
isn't
fun.
even
Yeah.
that fun. It's pretty.
I like
water
Wet
rides.
Day.
I think that's the worst water ride at the parks, though. Just because it's very like
I would
jerky,
also
like it's not
agree.
very smooth.
It gives me Coney Island vibes,
Okay,
and
I do have a ride
Well,
description.
I've never been to Coney Island.
Okay, so
Okay.
once
Okay.
upon a time, you so you're in Hollywood, okay? You're in Hollywood. And as people do in Hollywood, they're really into music. You know, they're trying to make it as big artists. So you decide you're going to become a big artist in Hollywood. And basically, you're having to go through all this weird shit that you didn't know people had to go through to become big artists in Hollywood. They're making you go through like a metal detector. And then you're on this moving sidewalk, and they only give you 30 seconds to sit down in your seat before you're launched into space. And then, while you're being launched into space, that's when you make your music video? I'm sorry, what's this concept?
I know what it is, but I hate the way you described it.
Accurate though.
I really do hate. Okay, first of all, it's Rip Ride Rocket. To all the listeners that might not know, but that moving sidewalk is horrible.
But they're like, you have 30 seconds to get in your seat. The moving sidewalk does not stop. You will be launched off of the platform if you are not sitting in your seat on time.
So many rides have a moving sidewalk.
But that one, just because you're already up in the
Yeah,
air,
well.
it seems so much like higher staked.
I guess.
Like, you're gonna die if you don't get in your seat. People die daily on Rip Ride Rocket.
It's because they don't choose their song in time.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that if you don't choose your song, the seatbelt doesn't lock.
But there's also the
Country.
secret song list.
What's the secret song?
It's a lot of songs. There's a hidden soundtrack on Rip Ride Rocket. And you can get to it. I'll tell you how to get to it. Just give me a second.
Oh my god, she's lying.
I'm not lying. I've done this before, and you can do this at Universal.
She's maybe Googling now.
I am Googling. I need to find the specific thing that. Okay. So what happens is when you're on the home screen and you're trying to find the song that you want, instead of choosing from the songs that are available, you can press down on the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket logo on the restraint for at least 10 seconds rather than selecting a genre.
10 out of the 30 seconds have to be holding down that button?
Yes, and then when release your finger, a number pad will appear, and each song has a 3-digit code that you can use. And then there's a list. You can go online and find this. There's a list of songs, and you just put in the 3-digit code for whatever song you want, and that song will play. When I went on it and did it, let me find the song that I did. It was an Eminem song, but I don't remember which song it was.
Oh my god, I've never heard about
I've
this.
never
You're
heard
not
this either. This is a real life thing.
This is a real life thing. I did.
I don't know why
I don't even.
I know that
Oh, no,
has nothing to do with the ride mechanics, but it sounds so dangerous to give people that much power.
So there were a ton of songs. It was "Lose Yourself" by Eminem.
I was
The
gonna
song
guess
code is
Lose Yourself.
it's 306. If you're listening and want to specifically listen to "Lose Yourself" by Eminem, the code is 306. You could also listen to "Vogue" by Madonna. That's 310. You could also listen to John Mayer if you want. That's 507.
I'm gonna ride the ride. I guess 999 times so that I can listen to every single one of these songs. Now that I know the pack.
Yeah, there's like a ton. Well, okay, there's not like a ton. There's maybe like, I don't know, like 50 songs.
Wait, how can they have?
Which like,
never mind. I'm stupid.
The numbers start. The 3-digit code starts at 101, and then it goes all the way to 132. But then it skips from 132 to 301 to 312, and then it goes from 501 to 508, and then 701 to 718, and then 901 to 904. So like the codes are like kind of random. Like they don't go completely in order. But yeah, that is a thing that you can do on Rip Ride Rocket. I took way too long to explain that and is not like relevant at all to anything that we're talking about, so we can move on now.
I didn't know that at all.
I didn't know that either. That's a neato fact. Neato fact alert.
Yeah.
Boing.
And remember, we are experts on Disney and Universal, so we do have all of those neato facts for you.
Mm-hmm. Keep an ear out for the boing sound effect, where we let you know that a neato fact is on the way.
Yes, we will continuously do that in every episode.
Okay, so Skylar, it's your turn.
Seems like we haven't played this game in 8 years.
I'm so confused. I don't know what to say. Hold on.
So you're on a flying bicycle, right?
So you're on a flying bicycle, right? And you have a baby, and the baby is contraband. And you're flying through the sky with your contraband baby, and you're looking down, and there's police officers, and they want that baby. They're trying to steal your baby from you. And you fly past them, you say, F the police. You fly past them, and then you go into space. And then you're in space. You're in a magical land with very loud speakers. And then the little baby gets out of your bike, and he fixes the planet, and then he says he loves you, and then you get off.
Wow.
I like how you're trying to keep people from taking your baby on Earth, but then you just yeet your baby into space and leave them.
Well,
that's how it goes.
And what was I talking about?
The E.T. adventure.
Wow, Sarah, just give it away.
I wanted to move on because I have a really good one next. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
So you do some LSD.
Oh, cat in the hat.
Oh, this is how we're starting off.
It was cat in the hat.
Cat in the hat.
It was cat in the hat. You do some LSD and you start tripping hard. And you don't know up from down. and you're spinning around, and there's this wacko cat talking to you, and he's screaming at you, and he's painting the walls, and you keep spinning, and it's a horrible trip. And then this little boy starts yelling at you to clean up the house. And then you're on this couch, and then you feel like you're gonna vomit the whole time. Yes, that is Cat in the Hat.
Listen, you're always hitting on
This is not how I'm sure Universal would describe their Cat in the Hat ride, but
I like that ride. All I'm gonna say. So Universal, if you're gonna sponsor one of us, sponsor me. I actually like Cat in the Hat.
And that's how sponsorships work. They sponsor one person at a time. I like this podcast, but I don't know about that Sarah girl. I'm gonna withhold the money from her.
Just put it directly to me and Skylar's bank account.
You're like, give me your account number, baby. But not that Sarah chick.
Yeah, so Universal is your sugar daddy, and
I would hope so.
Oh, I wish.
So,
I think Cat in the Hat is okay. I'm not gonna say I like it because that would be incorrect. But I don't think it's as intense as Sarah seems to think it is.
It's
I
a
do
ride
think
for
it can be-
children?
there's
Yeah,
there's two
It's for
rides.
children.
There's two rides. There's 3 rides in the whole park that make me feel sick after I ride them. And 2 of them are extreme rides. And one of them is the Cat in the Hat. So something about that tells you that their Cat in the Hat, whatever they're pumping in the air there, is not quite right, because I cannot get off that ride without feeling sick.
The only ride that like really got to me at Universal was the Simpsons ride.
Oh wait, I take that back. There's another one. Oh,
I felt viscerally ill when I got off of the Simpsons ride.
I have to go.
I agree. I felt ill getting off Simpsons. I felt ill getting off of Hulk, and I felt ill getting off of Rip Ride Rocket. But Cat in the Hat was fine.
No. Cat in the Hat needs to go. I can tell you. I can do some cuts. I'm gonna do some major cuts.
Oh.
That's what this podcast has turned into.
I'm gonna do some edits. You can cut Simpsons Land. Period.
I agree. I don't like
I
it.
agree.
You can cut Seuss Land.
No, you cannot cut
I
Seuss Land.
disagree.
I mean, Seuss Land's fine. I just don't like the Cat in the Hat ride, I guess.
You just don't like Seuss Land because you were in Seussical the musical.
I have flashbacks from when I was in Seussical the musical, and it haunts me. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't like the bright kitty colors of those 2 lands. I always think of Universal as kind of the edgier park compared to Disney, and at least in the Woody Woodpecker Kid Zone is off hidden away, so it's not in your face, this is a kid zone, and it's not even loud bright colors, whereas Seuss Landing and Simpsons Land are so loud and bright and unnecessary. I want the edgy, gritty Universal with dinosaurs and wizards and Hulks.
And Hulks, multiple.
And gurgling fountains.
I wish they just had Hulk characters just running rampantly throughout the park.
That'd be so funny. I wish they had a Hulk meet and greet. I've never seen a Hulk meet and greet before.
That would be a
where
fun stilt meet and greet.
Yeah, like a Transformer, but he's Hulk.
Yeah.
This is Universal. I know you're listening.
We
Are they
know.
allowed to do that? They may not be allowed to do that now. you know.
I released the intellectual property of that idea for the group. I signed it away.
Yeah, I don't care. Y'all do what you want to do. I think I like the Seuss Land. I just think I like everything in Seuss Land. I think all the rides there are fine except for Cat in the Hat. I think Cat in the Hat is okay. Like again, I don't feel as strongly about it as Sarah does, but it could definitely use an update.
Yeah. I think that a lot of the things in Seuss Land are starting to look a bit faded.
Yeah.
That would be my only problem with Seuss Land, because I think it's very fun and whimsical, other than the fact that like some of the stuff just doesn't look that good anymore. And also, when we went on that little ABC train, there's like a beach day scene, and it's supposed to have little Seuss characters swimming in the water, and one of them was just straight up upside down, like dead.
They're Sneetches.
The Sneetches, and one of them was dead. Someone needs to fix that.
Yeah, that was pretty traumatizing.
But that was my only. Think of the children. How are they gonna live seeing their Sneetch dead?
Let's get into talking about our personal experience at Universal during the COVID-19 pandemic and what Universal was doing as far as safety precautions and following CDC guidelines, and how we felt, whether we felt safe, and how we managed that. Disclaimer, please don't get mad at us. We did our best. No, we did not break social distancing guidelines. We wore our masks everywhere, and we tried to be as safe and clean as possible the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Okay, a few things just like right off the bat, things that are different at Universal now than they were pre-COVID. So obviously you have to wear your mask the whole time you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Universal was very, I mean, in my opinion, I think Universal was very good at enforcing this. Like we saw workers like telling people constantly to put their telling people to put their mask on if they would take them off or if they were wearing them incorrectly. And then you also had like hand sanitizer before and after every ride and every gift shop and every restaurant. So they were very good about that. And they were signs directing you to like the nearest bathroom so you could actually like go and wash your hands if you needed to. And there was social distancing. And those are kind of just like the main things that Universal was doing. Was there anything else that y'all noticed that was different?
They had seaters in every restaurant. You normally would just, get your food and then go sit down, but now you were placed in a very strategic, specific location, so you would not be within 6 feet of another party while you were eating and you had your mask off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they also, the character meet and greets, they're not having traditional meet and greets. The characters stand far behind a fence and you stand 6 feet in front of them. And they have some characters out for like little shows and stuff. Like they had the Simpsons out on like a truck. They had I think they had like SpongeBob and Patrick dancing in the street. They had a show with Marilyn Monroe. Those were pretty much the things that we saw. And then also to elaborate on like their social distancing guidelines and new policies, in every queue you're in, which includes stores, restaurants, and meet and greets, they have these little blue markers on the floor, and you have to stand on those. They're spaced out 6 feet apart throughout the entire line.
And I would say that most people were very compliant with that, as far as, maintaining that distance. And another thing with the characters that is pretty interesting that is something that I'm pretty sure Disney is not doing at all is some of their characters actually wear masks. if it is within their character's world to do so. So Captain America, we saw him out. He was wearing a mask. It fit in with his costume, but
I thought it looked a little silly, but
the Scooby-Doo gang, they were wearing masks as well.
But like
Marilyn
Marilyn
Monroe
Monroe
was not. Was Fiona?
Fiona was not wearing a mask. And I think
But
that
in Harry Potter world, the singers with Celestina Warbuck, the wizard, the witch singer lady, they were all not wearing masks. However, in the Ollivander show, Ollivander was wearing a mask.
And the Hogwarts choir,
they were all wearing masks, along with the people from the other schools.
Yeah, so I wonder if it might be, I don't know if like it's up to the performer's discretion.
So. I think that's probably mandated because everyone in a certain show was or was not.
Maybe it's because which like I don't know this for sure. This is just like me speculating, but maybe it's because like the frog choir, they have different people that they switch out, so they're not like constantly the ones like singing together. But maybe like Celestina Warbeck's group is all the same people all the time. Maybe. But like I don't know that because I've only ever seen them once. But I know the frog choir, they did have different people out than the last time I saw them. Some of them were different, so that might be why they have to wear masks.
Or maybe it has to do with the vicinity that they are in to others. So if they're able to perform their role and still maintain distance, then maybe they don't have to wear a mask. But if they cannot perform their role without maintaining social distance, they will wear a mask.
Maybe. And they also the frog choir exits like off stage through the park, whereas Celestina Warbeck exits off the back of the stage.
Oh, that might be.
Yeah, that might be the reason why.
Overall, I felt safe there.
I felt like they were really good at enforcing things. Oh, also, we didn't explain that on the actual ride vehicles are also socially distanced and theater settings are socially distanced. So they like skip rows in order to keep people a certain amount of feet away. And some rides you just get your own vehicle. Like Simpsons, you're in your own vehicle. A lot of things like that. You have your own vehicle.
Which I will say, with them having to like keep the ride vehicle socially distant, I think that does kind of slow down the line a little bit because obviously they're not able to get as many people on at one time. However, there aren't a lot of people in the park right now, anyways, so everything was pretty much a walk on, regardless of them having to keep everyone separated. So that's just, I don't know, it's just something to think about. If it gets busier later on, them having to keep everyone socially distant might like really slow down. Yeah, like really slow down everything. But as of right now, there aren't a lot of people in the park, so it wasn't
see
that
how
big of a
they
deal.
will manage a large scale event like their Halloween Horror Nights, because they are, as of now, still set to do that as scheduled with all their mazes and shows and scare actor people. So I think that will draw more crowds, and I'm interested to see how they're gonna, deal with that.
Yeah.
But I do think because that's already like a ticketed event, so even like on a normal year, they don't have as many people. Or I don't know this for sure, but I feel like they don't have as many people
like maybe they're
there
gonna
for the
sell less
event that they would have.
just to keep capacity.
Yes, they'll just because they have to keep it 50% anyway, so they might even be doing that like 50% what their normal event capacity is. But even still, like because I know at the Halloween thing, they have the scare actors that are like in the street, and kind of part of their job is to get close to you and scare you. So I don't really know how
Right.
how
Will they
effective
be
they'll be
wearing
at scaring
masks?
people
Will that
from a
take away from the
distance.
fact that they're supposed to look
Yeah,
scary? Will they just scare you from a distance? Will that
I don't know.
whole part be cut out?
Yeah, like they're just gonna. I don't know.
Another thing
That'll be
about
interesting.
when we were there, just forgot to talk about this. As far as dining went, they really tried to push mobile ordering. So
Yes.
spending less time
Mhm.
indoors with your mask off. So and less time touching, your credit card and putting it in the machine and all that stuff. So they incentivized that by giving you a free cup every time, a refillable cup if you mobile ordered. Only a couple of restaurants in the park participated in that. They really advertised that like everywhere's going to be accepting mobile orders, but that wasn't exactly the case. But I know they did really try to incentivize that best they could.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that that's still going on. I think that was just
No.
going on when we were there. But I'm not 100% sure. It might still be, but I don't think it is. So if you're going in the future, maybe don't
But they
demand
probably
that they give
still
you
will
a free
try to
cup with
keep
your
mobile
meal.
ordering up. One thing is, I was surprised at the
Yeah.
lack of like restaurants that were open. Like, I think only 50% of their dining locations were open, if that.
Yes, I forgot about that actually. Because there were a few places we tried to go. Like we had planned to go the previous day. We were like, we're gonna go here for breakfast and here for lunch and everything. And when we got there, like none of those places were open, so we had to completely rethink about where we were eating. And they didn't
No.
really advertise online
No,
what
they
would
did
be open,
not.
and what
But
would be closed.
I guess it makes sense why they would be closed because there's going to be 50% less people in the park, so you don't need 100%. You don't need to be making that much food. That's waste. But I wish they had
Right.
advertised that a little bit better because it was confusing to try to plan out your day and realize that you walked all the way to the other side of the park to eat at a place that is closed.
I will say the one time where I felt like people were getting a little bit lax on social distancing is when you're entering like security.
They're trying to like redirect people in order to come into security a certain way so that they can like direct people to different security stations so that people are evenly dispersed. So they redirect you around like a little, like, I don't know, like a little barrier. They redirect you around it.
They're basically like
And there's
herding
just
you.
so many.
Cattle.
Yeah, and it really is like a herd. There's so many people that are just like trying to get in front of you to go through security first, and there's so many people, you're like bottlenecking into a small space, and then you have to turn around, and it was very crowded. And I think that we were trying to stay back a little, but there's like still people behind us that are like walking, or people that are going around
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I wish
And
that
that
was
was
managed a bit better. And then when the parks
And
closed and everyone was walking back to the garages, people were hot from the end of the day. They were ready to get back to their cars and take their masks off. So they were like going ahead and taking their masks off as they were walking through City Walk and back through the garages. And no one was really enforcing that because
yeah.
they weren't technically in the parks anymore. And I kind of just wish maybe they would enforce that a little bit better because that is where there's a huge crowd of people, especially at closing time. Everyone is leaving at once. Everyone is around each other at once. And that's when
Right.
everyone wants to take their mask off.
Yeah.
but though that was my really only complaint, was entering the park during that little corral, because that was, I think, very poorly handled, and then exiting. But other than that, they did a pretty good job of really enforcing.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with the way that they were like, if someone was not wearing their mask, like the team members would say, like, can you put your mask on, please? Or if someone was wearing it like not over their nose, they'd be like, can you please put it on your nose? So they were really catching people on that stuff, and I thought that I was really impressed with that part of their new procedures.
Yeah, and from what I saw, people like there was a lot of extra like cleaning and
Absolutely.
sanitation happening in the parks too that you don't typically
Mhm.
see in a theme
They were
park
like,
because it's just difficult to get into like all those people and clean, but they were doing that really well during all of this.
I would say it was generally spotless, which is not something I would normally say for Universal.
I agree.
mhm. So, are you guys ready to talk about Disney? Okay, so
Yes.
Disney opened, I think on the 11th, and then Hollywood Studio and Epcot opened on the 15th. And in general, I think that the people who have been have said that they've also been really good, like Universal, but Disney has also faced a lot more backlash than Universal did. A lot of people are really upset that they've already opened, especially considering when they closed, there were like, I don't know, like a few hundred cases in Florida, and now there's like thousands and thousands every day,
Right.
especially in Florida. So I've seen a lot of backlash from Disney for.
I think any criticism that you could have towards Disney can apply to other parks like Universal and SeaWorld and Six Flags, Busch Gardens, all that. They're just not really receiving that criticism because they're not as global of an enterprise as Disney is.
I will say this is kind of my complaint about Disney, and like obviously I'm not going to Disney. I haven't paid for Disney tickets, so like this doesn't affect me as much. But like right now, the experience at Disney is so augmented from the normal experience. I don't think their ticket price is
Yeah.
worth it. Like Universal, like yeah, the mask, social distancing, but Universal, like at its core, I think operates pretty much still the same. But Disney is like you don't have the fireworks show, you don't have character meet and greets, you don't have the dining plan. Like you're not able to do all this stuff that you would normally be able to do if you were going to Disney. And their ticket prices are exactly the same as they were before they closed, which is like a very expensive price. So like I think if you're coming from another state and you're trying to plan a family vacation, I don't think Disney right now is worth it, but that's just my opinion. But and that's really my only complaint about Disney. I'm sure they're doing fine as far as like the mask and social distancing and everything. But I think the experience right now is not worth going for
Yeah,
personally.
from what I've heard, they have pretty much the same procedures as Universal. I'm not sure if they give you hand sanitizer like before and after. I'm sure they give you at least before or after. I have heard that the dining is strictly mobile orders, and it's only in certain
Yeah.
places. So I think in Magic Kingdom, I think like Pecos Bill, Pinocchio, and Cosmic Rays were the only ones open. And then they do have those social distancing markers on the floor. But I've also heard, and I haven't seen any pictures of this, so I don't know if it's true, but I have heard that in some of the queues that have like this switchback lines, they've put up plexiglass in between.
I have seen that.
Okay.
I've seen it.
And I've seen a lot of pictures of them putting up plexiglass like in between certain rows of like ride vehicles. And
Interesting.
and also opposed to Universal's take with the characters, with some of them wearing masks and all doing like the distance meet and greets. Disney is doing character processionals. So certain times during the day, the characters will come down Main Street, or I've seen like Anna and Elsa in World Showcase, and they put like the princesses on. It's the Christmas float, but they're trying to pretend like it's not the Christmas float. But yeah, some fun things like that, which I think are fun to see. But again, I think one of the things that they taught us when we were working at Disney was that the majority of people, when they go to Disney, they say like I came here for either like the they either come for the character,
The entertainment
like
and the characters.
Yeah.
That's what sets Disney apart from other theme parks, and they've all but
Yeah.
diminished that aspect of themselves. So I agree with you, Amanda. The experience as a whole is reduced, and
Mhm.
therefore the price should be reflected in that.
mhm.
Yeah. And like I feel like for adults maybe like it would be fine, but like if you were coming with like little kids that like just wanted to like meet Mickey and Minnie and like they just wanted to like watch the castle show and like ride some kid rides, like the experience is going to be completely different for them.
Yeah.
Like if you're an adult and you're like fine not meeting characters or watching the shows and like you just want to ride rides, like the experience might be fine, but like even still I feel like the price should reflect what
Yeah,
they're offering.
especially considering that like you're not even allowed to get all the food options that you want, which is the same at Universal, but also the prices at Universal are not as high as Disney. And we had season passes, so that's not something that we had to consider. So I guess if you have a season pass,
But even if you have a season pass at Disney World, you can't get in.
you can't get in with your annual pass?
No, you have to
Well, you have to make a
register.
reservation.
Yeah, you have to make a
Yeah.
reservation, and they're all but full.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Like they're filling up so fast because they're maintaining certain capacity, but the thing is with Universal is they're never going to reach that capacity or they haven't had an issue reaching the capacity.
Right. And they're not making people make reservations
So
either. So like you're not having to like scramble to like make sure you can get into the park. You just show up and see if you can get
so
in.
I understand
But like
people's complaints about their annual passes and how, why should they be continuing to pay for it if they can't just go anytime they want to?
but so the way Disney's doing it, they have two separate like capacities that they fill. So they have like one for annual pass holders and then they have a separate one for regular ticketed guests. And so like I think they let in more regular ticketed guests than they do annual pass holders each day. So once like the annual pass holder slot fills up, they can't like it can't be carried over into regular guest, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like say, which like this number is obviously incorrect, but say they could only let in 50 people into the park. Of those 50, 15 of them can be annual pass holders. And once they reach that 15, only 15 annual pass holders can get in. And then the rest of them have to be regular ticketed guests. I think that's at least my understanding of how they're doing it. I know they're two separate ones. I don't know like what the ratio is, but I think they're letting in more regular ticketed guests than annual pass holders. But even still, from what I've seen, Disney as well isn't super busy. Like
Yeah.
how we were talking about Universal, there was hardly anyone there. There's barely anyone at Disney either. The wait times have been super low.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are doing good about keeping socially distant and keeping their mask on and everything. But
I mean, at this point, most people who are going to either of these parks are locals.
Mm-hmm.
right.
No one's really planning a vacation specifically to come during this time.
Right.
Or very few.
And I would not advise you do that.
No, but what will be interesting in the future is if they maintain these protocols for long periods of time, but the world starts to open and people start to feel safer about making vacation plans, but they're still maintaining these protocols, guidelines, masks, social distancing, reservations, limited dining options, capacity, things like that. How is that going to affect when demand increases?
Yeah, and I wonder how long they're going to keep implementing these procedures, even if like we end up getting a vaccine or any sort of like good treatment that would drastically reduce the number of cases that are going up. I wonder how long after that they would still be keeping these procedures in place.
That's what I'm saying. I imagine they'd keep them for a while.
I also am kind of interested to see, since Florida's cases have been going up so much, if the parks are going to remain open.
Yeah.
Because, like, not long after Disney World started reopening, Hong Kong Disneyland had to reclose again because they had a surge in cases.
Mm-hmm.
And like they had just reopened like the month prior and they were already closing again because of it. So, I mean, I don't foresee that happening in Florida just because it is Florida. But I don't know, like if it becomes a mandated thing, it's not really up to them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But overall, you know, criticism on these parks reopening is valid, but I think they are doing the best they can as to making the parks themselves safe places.
Mm-hmm.
And this was very serious. And I do want to say this episode was pretty serious and we had some factual things to talk about. Most episodes are not going to be this way.
We're going to goof a whole bunch more.
Yeah, we're very goofy gals. So don't expect this normally, but we did think it was important to address stuff like this instead of just like pretending like it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we did want to address it, but from now on, the episodes will be pretty goofy. We won't talk about anything serious ever again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think
maybe in the near future we'll hit you with a film commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for that. And follow us on Instagram at Fastpass and Furious. Let us know what movie from the Disney or Universal franchises we should watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
About it.
And
all right, ladies.
You know what time it is?
The family. Strong in the family.
All right.
When did this turn into Beautiful World?